Hi, Sakshi. Good morning.
Recording in progress.
A very good morning, everyone. We'll just wait for 2 minutes more for people to log in.
Hi, good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Nancy. We'll just wait for 2 minutes more for people to join in. I think they are still logging in.
Yes.
We don't want anyone to miss an important discussion. So just give us. We'll start sharp at 6:32.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, good morning, everyone. I'm Sakshi Rora back with you for our next day of PosiFest with Nancy Agarwala. Before we proceed, I would like to give you a short introduction about her. So Nancy's career took a surprising turn when, after becoming a chartered accountant, she decided to dive into an entirely different field, sexual health education. Witnessing the silent suffering of those around her, she realized how deeply sexual health issues can affect an individual's emotional well-being. She's a unique blend of corporate experience and an understanding of how demanding work schedules can impact personal relationships. Having navigated the intricate balance between work and personal life herself, she brings a deep empathy and insight into her work with a perfect combination of both practicality and emotions. With her practical approach, she facilitates people in understanding the real reason behind an issue and helps eliminate it through therapeutic and educative models. Human beings are generally sexual beings. It is nothing to be ashamed of or feel guilty or dirty about. Saying that one must be responsible and accountable for their actions and behavior. In this era of electronics, where everything is available at the click of a button, every individual has a tailor-made issue, and the same answer does not work for all. The first is acknowledging that there is an issue, which takes courage, and then the next step is to seek professional help. It's okay to seek help, but not okay to suffer in silence. A very warm welcome to you, Nancy, for bringing up this such a personal and delicate topic. We are very happy to have you on board.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Sakshi, for your kind words. And good morning, all of you. This is Nancy here. And thank you for turning up at 6:30 a.m. I hope so would get. Okay. So a hypothetical situation. Now, if suppose you get to know that you don't have much time left and आप अगर अपने death bed पे हो, it is just a hypothetical situation and not something that you can take seriously over here. What will be your last wish? Or what will be your deathbed wish? You all can all type in the chat box over here and write your answers. Take some time, think.
You can even unmute and speak, whoever wishes to answer.
Prayers for society and family.
Good morning.
Good
If
morning.
it is the situation, we will pray for the society and family, and it's time to gratitude for to say thank you for everything to God. This is
Okay. Anyone else?
You would want to complete all those things that are pending, and it just goes on in the mind ki this is pending, this is pending. Yeah, and then how Kala ma'am says that could have been a better
You're a better
person. You
person.
have those realizations.
So Sakshi, like you mentioned about the pending things, like do you mean pending things work-wise or relationship-wise?
I think more it connects to personal life, with your relationships, you could have been a little better.
Okay, so is there anyone over here? I think most of us who are here are working. And is there anyone wish I had the courage to say or do what all I love to do more often? Yes, sir. And okay, so is there anyone over here who would think that their last wish would have been कि ओ काश मैं ये बोर्ड मीटिंग अटेंड कर लेता, बस थोड़ा टाइम और रुक जाओ, ये मीटिंग अटेंड करके आ जाता हूँ, या ये रिपोर्ट बाकी रह गई, ये सबमिट करना है, डेडलाइन था, टारगेट सेल अचीव नहीं हुआ. Do you think anyone will think about that? Or does anyone over here think that ये सारे thoughts आ सकते हैं किसी के दिमाग में उस टाइम पे?
Until unless पूरी फैमिली के उनका अर्निंग्स उन पे डिपेंड करता है, then probably वो डिसीजन.
उस टाइम पे भी आई थिंक केयर एंड कंसर्न ज्यादा रहेगा कि जस्ट बिकॉज द फैमिली इज देयर, द रिलेशनशिप एंड द
Yes.
बॉन्ड इज देयर, दैट इज व्हाई द फाइनेंशियल. thing will come in the aspect. So there is this book, The Top 5 Regrets of the Dying, and the most common regrets जो है एक deathbed में, it is about I wish I had lived my life according to what I wanted and not what others expected me to be. I wish I hadn't worked so hard in my life. Then I wish I had expressed my feelings. Fourth is I wish I stayed in touch with my friends. And the fifth is I wish I had let myself be happier. In all these five things, there is nothing related to the work and profession or anything, but it is all related to the feelings, emotions, bond, and relationship. But why are we talking about this right now? So, our topic is work and sex life balance. Work is important, it is a priority, but it is not the only thing in our life. There is a life beyond work. Life is a subset, sorry, work is a subset of life, and work is not the only life that we are living to live. हम अपने rat race में इतने ज़्यादा busy हो गए हैं that we forget that we have a life. And now, where does work and sex this comes in relation? ये कहाँ पे आ रहा है? So, what is the biggest threat to a desire, sexual desire, which we call libido? So, what do you think is the biggest threat to libido? Can anyone answer? Okay, so I'll go. Stress is one of the biggest threat to libido. If we are stressed out, if there is any tension, we will not be thinking about our desires at that point of time. And now, what do you think is the biggest source of stress?
Work.
Exactly. Work is one of the very biggest source of stress. So here comes the relationship between sex and work. Rightly said you, work pressure is the biggest source of stress in our life these days. And so there is a relationship between work and sex, the desire over here. But is the relation directly proportional or is it inversely proportional? Do you think more work means less sex? Is there anyone over here who thinks more work means less sex?
Hello.
Yes.
Can I sort of
Yes, sir.
express my thoughts with
Yes,
your
sir, of
permission?
course.
I mean to say that there are certain, you can say, basic instincts of a human being, and there are basic requirements. Now, food, air, shelter, sex is also one of the basic requirement. It is something which is basic. And as you have rightly mentioned, that one should not sort of regret, and one should be open in discussing the issue. So when it is a basic requirement, वो requirement यदि है, so then despite whatever may be the quantum of work, वो basic quota जो है of happiness, that has to be planned. मतलब उसको उसका उसका भी एक जगह बनना चाहिए, उसका भी एक जगह बहुत ही सॉर्ट ऑफ जरूरी है. नहीं तो क्या है कि एंड वो जगह कैसे बन सकता है, मतलब जो है कि यू आर एन एक्सपर्ट, बट as you were mentioning about the libido and everything is mindset. If my mind is very, very clear that mind is stress free, and if my mind is very, very clear that this is a sort of a basic requirement, and therefore one should sort of a whatever may be the sort of a circumstance, यदि आपका माइंड सेट क्लियर रहेगा तो फिर आप अपने आप उसके लिए समय निकालेंगे, वर्क को रेगुलेट करेंगे और एक बैलेंस जरूर लाएंगे मतलब जो है कि बिकॉज फैमिली में रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज दूसरी भी हैं, मीनिंग देयर बाय के जो स्पाउस है उसके प्रति भी जिम्मेदारी है. So one should be think in that lines. This is what I feel. I may be wrong, but this is what I
Sir. No, sir. Like you rightly said, sex is a necessity or maybe a normal part, a normal desire. It is okay to want sex. It is okay to not want sex. It is okay to want sex sometimes, and it is okay to not want sex. It is also okay to want sex and withdraw in between. The consent can be withdrawn anytime in between the act. एंड व्हेन इट कम्स टू वर्क प्रेशर, जब हमारे पे वर्क प्रेशर बहुत ज्यादा हो जाता है, तो यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ वॉशिंगटन ने एक सर्वे किया था वेयर 159 एम्प्लॉइज वर asked to fill in the details for 2 weeks every single day about their personal details and the work they are doing and everything to figure out how is the work impacting the sex life and is more work does more work means that their sex gets reduced and vice versa. So what was found out was that the people who had sex the previous night were more happy, content, fulfilling, energized to perform the next day in the morning. They were more focused and energized towards their work. Similarly, people who did not have sex and if they are stressed, it impacted their work life as well. The next morning, there were some kind of desires maybe which were unfulfilled. They were irritated, maybe because of the fight the other night. Now, if we just twist the table and if we see if our work life is not going smoothly and we are disturbed and distracted and we are pressurized, we may not feel like coming home to our partner, to our spouse, and then have the desire to get the sex. So these two are very directly proportional. When our sex life is good, our work life gets also balanced and becomes good. Similarly, if our work life is good, if we are succeeding and if we are getting a lot of recognition over there and if we are content, then it makes us feel happy and it improves our relationship also. बट इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि हम सब काम भी छोड़ दे एंड सिर्फ और सिर्फ सेक्स लाइफ पे ही ध्यान दे टू इम्प्रूव आवर वर्क. इट वाज अ लाइक देयर वाज अ प्रपोजल बाय स्वीडन दैट म्युनिसिपल एम्प्लॉइज को काम के बीच में 1 hour ब्रेक मिलना चाहिए टू हैव सेक्स सो दैट इट इम्पैक्ट्स देयर वर्क लाइफ. बट हमें उस एक्सट्रीम तक भी नहीं जाना है. वी कैन ऑलवेज कंट्रोल एंड मेंटेन अ बैलेंस of the work life and sex life. Basically, the myth that more work means less sex is not the reality. When just for clarification, when I say work, what do you think of?
So work can be anything what one is doing. It can be working on laptop. It can be a physical work that a laborer is doing, or it can be a very gentle, sitting and calling on the phone. It can be anything.
Can anyone else come up with something when I'm mentioning work? बहुत बार हमने जब से session start हुआ है तब work के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं. Can someone add on to this?
Yes, Mohit.
Yes, Mohit.
Like it can be housework as well or mental work, like working on PPTs, Excel, your mental work, physical work,
Thank you for saying that.
anything.
Yeah,
Even
so
if you're walking, exercising, that is the kind of work which you are doing.
exactly. So everything counts. Like, the work, the household work, which you said in the beginning, that is also a work. If somebody is struggling in their career and is just at the start of it or in the middle of it, that is also work. It does not mean that you are financially earning or you are getting paid. Only that is work. So, a bread maker, sorry, excuse me. So a bread earner is also doing some work and a bread maker is also doing some work. Just 1 minute, excuse me. Yeah, sorry about that. So, when I talk about work, it includes everything. It can be anything from household chores to your professional work. It can be work from home. It can be exercising, anything at all. Now, the most common problem that we are seeing these days is that about shared responsibility when it comes to work. Majorly, now there are always exceptions, but almost everyone is working nowadays. And if suppose someone is doing a professional work and also maintaining the household chores, the entire responsibility is on their shoulder. While on the other hand, their partner is only doing some professional work and not contributing to the household chore, then there is also a disturbance in the relationship, irrespective of how much one person earns or not, or who is earning more or who is earning less, or who is contributing how much in the household expenses. There is a labor given by someone in a majority towards the household chores, and they tend up to come up with an excuse, or they tend up to say that, I am very tired and I just cannot handle it. On the other hand, their spouse are feeling left out, and they experience not a very good sex life, and keep complaining, but they don't understand that they need to contribute towards the household responsibility as well, or maybe lower down the weight on their shoulders by maybe appointing maybe helpers, be it in professional field, be it in their household chores. Then there can be a balance maintained. And when I talk about sex, what does sex mean? Like, we've done the part of the work, we've discussed about work, sorry. So what do you mean by sex? Like, what comes in your mind?
Sorry, Nancy, before we proceed, there are two chats in the chat
Yeah,
box.
sorry.
Just want to complete. So Jay here had mentioned cannot seem to compartmentalize for work separately. They seem to spill over to all things in life.
Yeah, it does. We will come to the compartmentalization, sir, in some time.
And we have Madhushri saying it is each one's perception about the stress and de-stress. Having sex is a good stress buster too for some.
Yes, of course. It releases dopamine and gives us the happy hormones, and it makes us feel content. So, of course, yes, it can help us de-stress also. But every individual works differently. Sometimes some people desire more sex when they are stressed, when they are angry, etc. And some people desire for sex increases when they are very happy and content. So there is no fixed rule for anyone, or there is no tailor-made want or desire for everyone. Now, coming back to my question, what comes to your mind when I say the word sex? So, like, the most common thing which comes to the people's mind, or you say sex, it also includes intimacy. Yes, you're right. Intercourse and sex are two words which are interchangeably used. Now, sorry, but it is wrong. Like, intercourse is just a subset of sex. Sex is an umbrella term which includes intimacy, like you said. Just like, ejaculation and orgasm are interchangeably used when it comes to the pleasure of men, but they are two different things. Similarly, sex and intercourse are also misunderstood and interchangeably used by many people in our day-to-day language. But these are completely two different things. Now, when we know what is work, what is sex life, how are they related with each other, and how we should, now we are proceeding towards how do we balance the two. Okay. Now, if I may ask, what is your primary source of purpose, satisfaction, validation? What do people normally get validation from or satisfaction from? Or what do you get validated and satisfied from? Can anyone answer?
Satisfied from ejaculation. Okay. We have two answers. Mohit
Satisfied
says,
from ejaculation, appreciation at workplace, or
Or-
personal life. Yes, so it can be both personal life and professional life also. Many people feel validated and satisfied when they work, when their work gets recognized. If your boss appreciates, if you get a happy client, if you get a happy feedback from a client, if the client comes back to you again, it all makes us feel very satisfied at the end of the day. Whatever hard work we've done throughout the day, that has paid off by the end, so you get the fruit and you feel good about it. But how many of you all believe that a good sex can also make you feel validated and satisfied? Sorry. It is also enjoying the efforts, yes, sir. So basically what happens is that after a good sex with a partner that you are connected with, or your spouse over here, one's confidence level, self-esteem, their self-worth, self-acceptance, it all increases, giving them a boost. It also helps in their work life. When they go back to the work, they feel more confident about themselves, that okay, yes, I can do it, and they tend to give in more of their input towards any kind of goal they want to achieve. Now, if we see it in this scenario, like if in an office scenario or in your work life, if you are failing or your attempts are failing, if you are not getting recognized or you are getting criticized, there are conflicts with your colleagues, your bosses firing at you, you feel the pressure. The work pressure can also create a pressure on you and can create performance anxiety as well. Like there is a performance pressure when you are there with your partner, and it impacts over there. So this is how work life and work pressure can create an impact on your sexual performance and pressure, and you may not even realize why this is coming and from where this is coming from. You may not know why your relationship is being hampering because of your work, but it is. It can happen that way. Basically, if you have a good sex life, it makes you happy, it makes you content, and it helps you in working better. And similarly, if you are not having a great day at work, it can adversely impact your relationship. You can come back home and have a conflict with your spouse. You can take out all your anger and frustration out over there, and it will ultimately impact your sex life as well without you even realizing. Sorry.
But do you think communicating with your partner about these things, like coming and if you have a talk, my work pressure does impact our relationship, and maybe removing my anger when I come is just a small part of it, and it is not something to be carried forward, can help their relationship?
Yes, of course.
Or because it depends on the spouse as well, right? Because how that person is ready to take it emotionally, how strong that person would be.
Taking out anger and frustration over your partner just because you had a bad day is not justified. Yes, we can say that, oh, okay, listen, I am angry, I need to take it out, but not necessarily take it out on you. We should know how to process our anger. For example, like I think most of us have ice trays at our home and there is ice available. Whenever you are angry, be it for any reason, just go, take two ice cubes, put it on your hand and just close your wrist and stay for a few seconds, stay for a few minutes. Your anger will lower down, however angry you are. take a bucket of water, dip your hands inside the water, and just stay. Do whatever you want to do, say whatever you want to say, but आप खुद नोटिस करोगे आपका पिच धीरे कम होता जाएगा slowly, आपका गुस्सा कम होता जाएगा slowly. So there are many ways to process your anger. आप अपने पार्टनर के ऊपर गुस्सा निकालो, that is not justified. And even if conflicts happen, fight अगर होता भी है, you can acknowledge it. आप sorry बोल सकते हो, आप अपना explanation दे सकते हो. We are humans, we can make mistakes.
At the same time, when you said that validation in sex life, that, you know, when there is a satisfaction and a contentment, you know, you gain confidence, you gain. So does that confidence helping in work life also means that even if you've done something wrong in workplace, or even if you're backlogging your work, you still have the confidence to face it, to confront it, saying that, yes, okay, I have got delayed in doing so, I will, you know, complete it, rather than getting frustrated? Does that confidence reflect in this manner as well?
It totally depends upon the person. It is very
Person.
subjectable. Like, if I have a good sex life and if next day if I go and kill someone and okay, so that is मतलब वो extreme example है, but just an example to explain things that अगर आपका अच्छा सेक्स लाइफ है तो इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि आप काम पे जाके कुछ भी करो एंड इट इज ओके. एंड अगर आपका अच्छा वर्क लाइफ है इसका मतलब भी ये नहीं कि आप अपना पर्सनल लाइफ में सेक्स लाइफ में कुछ भी करो, दैट इज ओके.
That's okay.
These two are two different things, but it impacts the other thing. So one of the most common problem that I address of people are that they are very exhausted and tired after your day ends. आपका काम सारा खत्म हो गया, घर का काम सब खत्म हो गया, everything is done, now you are bed time start हो रहा है, अब you are exhausted, you are tired. What do most people do? How do they release their day? टीवी नहीं देखते आप लोग, इंस्टाग्राम में रील्स भी नहीं देखते. डोंट टेल मी कोई इंस्टाग्राम में रील नहीं देखता या यूट्यूब में जाके वीडियोस नहीं देखता. टेक्नोलॉजी एंड गैजेट्स हमारे लाइफ में एग्जैक्टली एंटरटेनमेंट, वी लुक फॉर एंटरटेनमेंट एंड हमारे सोर्स ऑफ एंटरटेनमेंट डिफरेंट थिंग्स है. किसी के लिए सोशल मीडिया प्लेटफॉर्म है, किसी के लिए बुक्स है, इट कैन बी एनीथिंग, बट मेजॉरिटी वे में टेक्नोलॉजी बहुत ज्यादा कवर अप करता है कि कोई मूवी चला के बैठ जाता है थोड़ी देर के लिए, कोई इंस्टेंट शॉर्ट रील्स देखता है. नाउ what will make you want to choose sex with your partner over that TV and over the other sources of entertainment? We have become so busy in our life that हम बोलते रहते हैं अरे हमारा काम बढ़ गया है, हमारे ऑफिस टाइमिंग बढ़ गया, अब मैं थक गया हूँ, अब मुझे रेस्ट चाहिए. रेस्ट चाहिए मतलब क्या करना है? फोन लेना है, फोन में स्क्रॉल करना है. That is the version of rest that we all want after our exhaustion. फिर ऑफ कोर्स नेक्स्ट डे का फिर वही, हमें सुबह उठना है तो सोना पड़ेगा. This is how gadgets are impacting our personal life and sex life. We don't get time, quality time to spend with a partner. We don't get time to build that intimacy. And ये हम सिर्फ बोल रहे we don't get time. We have the time, but we don't utilize it the way that we should. एक रील देखने बैठो, वो कब 1 घंटा निकल जाता है पता ही नहीं चलता है. हाँ, तो मैं तो बस अभी जस्ट खोला, अरे ये 1 घंटा निकल गया, अब क्या करूँ, अब सोते हैं, ठीक है चलो, और ज्यादा टायर्ड हो गए हो. डिड इट रियली डिस्ट्रेस यू? क्या आपका माइंड सच में क्लोज हुआ? If there is no partner or relationship, then we go for no, you can do many other things as well. It is not necessary that you go for social media platform only. You can invest that time in yourself. You can meditate. You can read something. You can learn a new skill. You can do many other things. It depends upon you. ये नहीं, एक पार्टनर और सोशल मीडिया प्लेटफॉर्म एक दूसरे का रिप्लेसमेंट नहीं है. Now, जो आपके ये क्वेश्चन मैंने आपसे पूछा कि what will make you want to have sex with your partner and over the TV or the other source of entertainment, तो उसका आंसर आपको किसी को मिला?
मैडम,
Yes, sir.
थोड़े समय पहले, just a few seconds earlier, you had expressed a very important reality that the mobile is causing a lot of distractions, and people have got a tendency to continuously, it's a truth scroll and all those things. So I'm just sharing my sort of a experience is that in order to have some sort of a discipline in life, what I do is after you can say 8:30 p.m. I just shut off the mobile. And so it's a sort of I consider it as a mobile curfew. And then sort of the mobile is once again, you can say, seen early morning, you can say 5:30 or 6 o'clock or whatever it is. So coming to your topic, unless and until these barriers are removed consciously, क्योंकि दो व्यक्ति हैं आपस में, suppose there are two persons who are sort of trying to engage with each other, this equipment is going to become a barrier. And sort of आप कैसे रिलेशनशिप डेवलप होगा. और दूसरा जो है कि हो सकता है कि सपोज एक्स इस वर्क में 10 घंटे 11 घंटे 12 घंटे ऑफिस से आ रहे हैं, तो घर में आने पर देयर आर सम एक्सपेक्टेशंस ऑफ बोथ कि दैट दे शुड हैव सम सोलेस, कहीं ना कुछ जो है कि टॉकिंग टू ईच अदर. सो देयर इज ए सॉर्ट ऑफ a big gap of a physical dialogue. जैसे कि in this webinar, the good thing is that we are sharing, we are
Yes.
talking. हम लोग आपस में बात कर रहे हैं. There is a support, gadgetry support of Zoom, but then there is no interference of mobile. So, I mean to say, जब तक consciously एक discipline दोनों के बीच में नहीं आएगा, दोनों आपस में डिसाइड नहीं करेंगे कि ओके अब इतने घंटों के लिए बाय बाय मोबाइल, देन आई मीन टू से तब फिर यू कैन मूव ऑन टू अदर टॉपिक्स, शेयरिंग ईच अदर्स इमोशंस, ट्राइंग टू डेवलप इंटीमेसी एंड ऑल दोस थिंग्स. दिस इज व्हाट आई थॉट.
Thank you, sir, for sharing this. Now, अब जैसे सर ने बोला वैसे मैं अब अगर सपोज आई एम टेकिंग दिस वेबिनार, ये जूम में ही हो रहा है, लेकिन मैं अगर अपने फोन में ऐसे ऐसे करते करते आपसे बात करती रहूं, तो क्या मैं आपसे कम्युनिकेट कर रही हूँ? क्या मैं आपसे बात कर रही हूँ? विल यू बी इंटरेस्टेड इन व्हाट आई एम सेइंग? कितनी बार ऐसा होता है कि हम अपने पार्टनर से बात कर रहे होते हैं और एक जन अपने फोन पे लगा हुआ होता है, सामने वाला कंप्लेन करता है कि यार तुम सुन ही नहीं रहे हो, बोलता है कहाँ नहीं सुन रहे हो, मैं तो सुन रहा हूँ, तुमने ये बोला, और फिर फोन पे लगा हुआ है अपने. Do you understand the difference where you are actually being attentive and listening to your partner?
Okay, there is a chat.
Yeah. Gadgets are used for sex chats also. Okay, so that is a medium through which people do get into sex chats, but that is a completely different angle and a different topic that we can get into. If you are using gadgets to talk with your partner, like आप अपने workplace में हो, बीच में आपको time मिला and you are using it to talking to your partner, it is kind of a foreplay before reaching and meeting them. For example, you can also be in a party where your partner is sitting right across to you and you are using your gadget to text them about what you are going to do or what you want when you meet post dinner at your home. Okay, so basically the communication, बहुत से लोग ये बोलते हैं कि even though I'm in a relationship, even though I have a spouse and or I have a partner next to me, but yet I feel lonely. Why? Because after the day ends, even if the timing is same, one or both of them are busy watching movie or in the source of different source of entertainment यूज कर रहे हैं वो apart from giving or investing time in their relationship and their partner over there. कई बार ऐसा भी होता है कि एक पर्सन गैजेट यूज कर रहा है, दूसरा नहीं कर रहा है, दूसरा that person is wanting to spend time but is being neglected, is feeling rejected and उनका desire कम होते जाता है. अल्टीमेटली व्हाट हैपेंस इज दैट कि जब सामने वाले को डिजायर होता है तब उसका मन नहीं है, बिकॉज यू आर नॉट अवेलेबल व्हेन द पर्सन वाज आस्किंग फॉर यू, वांटिंग यू, नीडिंग यू. यू आर नॉट मीटिंग देयर नीड्स एट दैट पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम. तो हमारा वो टाइमिंग का भी वो गैप इशू बहुत ज्यादा हो जाता है, दैट व्हेन वन पर्सन इज रेडी द अदर इज नॉट, एंड व्हेन द अदर पर्सन इज रेडी द फर्स्ट पर्सन इज नॉट. So what is the solution to this? There is this one question which Emily Nagoski asks: what do you want when you want sex with your partner? Not when you are self-pleasing yourself. Please answer that. You all can also note down this question. What do you want when you want sex with your partner? Give yourself some time, answer to this question, and जितना मन चाहो उतना लिखो. आप खुद के लिए लिख रहे हो, किसी और को दिखाना नहीं है, so you don't have to filter it out. You will be surprised by the end of it जो आप लिख रहे हो. Those things are missing in your life, in your sex life with your partner. You can also ask your partner to answer the same question. And आप आपस में बैठ के डिस्कस कर सकते हो, तो उससे आपको समझ में आएगा कि what does your partner want and need and वो missing हो रहा है. Similarly, your partner will also know कि आपके लाइफ में क्या मिसिंग है और आपको क्या चाहिए. Nobody is a mind reader. हमें खुद को नहीं पता होता है what do we want. तो पार्टनर का कैसे पता चलेगा कि what do they want? I'll repeat the question for those who want to write down. What do you want when you want sex with your partner? Yuk says, give and take pleasure, happiness to each other. Yes, like you rightly said, it is a mutual give and take relationship. There cannot always be one giver and there cannot always be one receiver.
There are also people who are very shy in expressing what is their desire in sex. Sex is definitely a desire, but within sex, there are a lot of parameters where people do not want to open up. This is what we also come across in coaching when people come and talk to us. They're not able to express freely. They feel judged. If we express this is what we want, they may not be appreciated or wanted anymore.
I'll share one personal experience over here. It is about a client, so I will not take the name of the client because of the confidentiality. But there was this person who was in a counseling session with me, and he mentioned about this communication gap with his wife, where he's unable. Where जब मैंने उन्हें से पूछा कि कुछ प्रॉब्लम चल रहे थे उनके सेक्स लाइफ में, it was a 10-year marriage, उनका 8-year-old kid है and everything. कि when have you last spoken about sex with your wife? और आपने कब बात किया? He got blank. वो 2 मिनट तक सोचता रहा कि मैं उसके बारे में बात क्या करूंगा, कैसे बात करूंगा, कैसे बोलूंगा. आपकी शादी को 10 साल हो गए हैं, आप जीवन में सब कुछ कर सकते हो एक साथ, आप हर चीज के बारे में बात कर सकते हो, आप सेक्स कर सकते हो, लेकिन आप उसके बारे में बात नहीं कर सकते. क्यों? उसमें इतनी हिचक क्यों? आप वो एक्टिविटी कर सकते हो बट उसके बारे में बोलने में आपको वो झिझक आ रही. 10 साल के बाद भी, एक बच्चा होने के बाद भी, यू आर नॉट कंफर्टेबल टॉकिंग अबाउट दिस. This is because, we've grown up in a society where sex is such a taboo. We've not grown up seeing our parents or anybody else in our family openly discussing or talking about it or resolving any issue about it. सब जो होता है वो बंद कमरे में होता है. अब बंद कमरे में क्या होता है किसी को नहीं पता है. तो अब हम कैसे बात करें हमें नहीं पता है. पर्सनल स्पेस है हमारे रूम में फिर भी हम उस बारे में बात नहीं कर सकते. And people who have difficulties in expressing and talking about it, they can definitely seek help if they need.
So we have Jay messaging us.
Yeah. So says continuous discovery, touches, exploring, and many conversation which are transparent. Mostly it is the moment that create great memories to keep remembering. Yes, small little things, little memories are what we remember. You will forget what a person said. You will forget what a person did, but you will never forget what the person made you feel. Take a pause, take a moment, think about any memory from your childhood. What is the predominant emotion or takeaway from there? How you felt at that point of time. It can be anything. It can be anger, it can be love, it can be respect. आपको वो याद नहीं होगा किसने क्या बोला या कितने देर बोला, बट आपको वो आपकी फीलिंग याद है. Because you remember how you felt. Similarly, आपके relationship में small moments, little things, how you make your partner feel, वो याद रह जाता है. Many people complain कि आप 4 साल पुरानी बात आपको याद है, उस दिन मैंने झगड़ा किया तो ये हुआ या वो हुआ. वो इसलिए याद है because वो उनके बॉडी में रह गया था. That was not resolved. That's again a reminder to us कि that is an unresolved issue. आप उसके बारे में बात कर सकते हो, उसको सॉर्ट आउट कर सकते हो.
We have someone mentioning my take from your session is taking this topic out of the Band Kamra. Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, so now let's lighten the mood a little bit. If suppose you're going on a date and you talk to the other significant person over there and you ask about them कि tell me about yourself, and वो अपने work life के बारे में बताना शुरू कर देता है. Like, okay, I work in so and so company, मेरा ये post है, मेरे ये colleague है, मेरा अभी just ये project चल रहा है, etc etc. What will be your response? Or what will you think?
Yes, Mohit.
I would say I was asking about you, not your work life. Like there are many aspects. Like I'm not just a working professional. I am a brother. I am a son. How does my day go? What are things I do? How like this? These are the things. If we interact, then a person with whom I am going on a date would be able to understand what kind of a person I am, and even if she expresses, I'll be able to understand what kind of a person she is. If the vibes match and if the things are going good, then we can move forward.
Right. अगर पता है ऑनेस्टली बोलूं मुझे कोई बोलेगा ना तो मैं बोलूंगी गेट अ लाइफ डूड. मैं काम के बारे में डिस्कस करने नहीं आई हूँ. मैं अपना काम बंद करके आई हूँ तुम्हारा काम जानने के लिए नहीं, तुम्हें जानने के लिए. सिमिलरली अब मुझे ये बताओ जितने लोग के यहाँ पार्टनर्स हैं, हम अपने लास्ट 3 दिनों में ही आपने ऐसी कितनी बातें अपने पार्टनर के साथ की है जो कोई भी वर्क, हमने जितने भी वर्क के बारे में बात किया ना, कोई भी वर्क से रिलेटेड नहीं है, कोई भी फैमिली मेंबर से रिलेटेड नहीं है. सिर्फ और सिर्फ उनके रिलेशनशिप से रिलेटेड है. नो एक्शंस, कम्युनिकेशन. बातें कितनी की है हमने उस बारे में?
ये देखिए, ऐसा है कि जैसे अभी आप बता रहे थे, when two persons they are having a dating and they are talking, so one has to understand that you do not sort of say express that you are just a workaholic. आप केवल वर्क 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 के बारे में यदि ही बात कर रहे हैं, दिस गिव्स ए इम्प्रेशन कि दी अदर डोमेन्स ऑफ लाइफ वो आपके माइंड में नहीं है, वो आपके माइंड में नहीं है. तो वन हैज टू अंडरस्टैंड दैट व्हाट इज द अल्टीमेट गोल. इफ द अल्टीमेट गोल इज हैप्पीनेस, अल्टीमेट गोल, हर आदमी wants to become a sort of a happiness is the goal. तो यदि हैप्पीनेस है तो उसमें क्लियरली द फैमिली कंपोनेंट जो है is very very important. Work life balancing is very very important. There are some persons who after completion of work they bring the pending jobs of work at their home. पर कुछ लोग ऐसे भी हैं जो बाय बाय कर देते हैं कि भाई जो जो कॉन्शियसली फैमिली सेंटर्ड है, तो दोस पर्सन्स कि भाई जो ऑफिस का काम है वो ऑफिस का काम अभी समाप्त हो गया, अब मेरे लिए मेरा हैप्पीनेस का सोर्स जो है वो मेरे बच्चे हैं, वो हैप्पीनेस का सोर्स मेरा परिवार है, मैं उसके साथ में जाऊं, अभी बहुत सारे फेस्टिवल्स चल रहे हैं, उनके साथ में घूमने निकलूं या जो कुछ भी करूं. सो अल्टीमेटली जो है कि ये रिलेशनशिप्स जो है, ये रिलेशनशिप्स, फैमिली रिलेशनशिप्स की इम्पोर्टेंस जब तक माइंड में कोई समझेगा नहीं कि दीज आर वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, फाइनली उसका एक कंपोनेंट है, एक पोर्शन है, इज द यू कैन से सेक्स लाइफ.
Thank you, sir, for again sharing your insights. Now, जैसे सर ने बोला कि we need to understand the balance between our work life and our personal life, which also includes sex life. मैंने उसके पहले जो क्वेश्चन आप लोग से पूछा कि do you talk anything to your partner which is not related to work at all? After a certain period of time हम बोलते हैं कि the chemistry has gone, the spark has gone in a relationship. क्यों? Because you're not investing. You will have to continuously invest in your relationship to keep the spark alive. You stop dating after certain period of time. You should never stop dating. Remember that. As a task, what we all can do is at least for 3 days in a week, we will say at least 3 things to our partner which is not related to work. And we've already discussed work क्या है. कोई काम का, ऑफिस के काम का बात नहीं, कोई घर के काम का बात नहीं, कोई एक्सरसाइज का बात नहीं, कोई फैमिली मेंबर का भी बात मत करो. It should only be a couple time, a quality time where they talk about the relationship or themselves or express their feeling, their desire, or listen to them and be present in the moment. This is how we can keep investing in a relationship. This will also increase the bond, the intimacy. Ultimately, it will keep us happy. And it is not necessary कि हम सारी अच्छी चीजें ही डिस्कस करें या खुशी की ही चीजें डिस्कस करें. If we are sad about something, we can talk about that also. It is a part of life.
So in a way, you're saying that when we are talking, we are communicating, we even get the validation that we are being heard, we are being understood
Exactly.
by someone whom we love so much. You know, sometimes there is love, but there is a lack. So that also helps us in maintaining our work life. On the contrary, because we feel ki whatever it is, whether it's the up and down in my work life, there is somebody who is able to give time to me to understand where I'm lacking, where I'm growing, and compliment me for the same, right?
all of us, we want to be seen and we want to be heard. ये दोनों क्राइटेरिया अगर हमारा फुलफिल हो रहा है तो हमें अच्छा लग रहा है. हमें पता है कि वी हैव आवर पार्टनर, वो हमारे साथ खड़ा है, वी कैन सपोर्ट ईच अदर, वी जस्ट नो इट बट वी डोंट से इट. एंड या फिर बहुत लोग बोलते हैं हाउ डू आई कम्युनिकेट इट और हाउ डू आई एक्सप्रेस इट. बाय मेकिंग अ पार्टनर feeling that that person is heard. They may not want a solution from you. Don't fix the problem or don't fix your partner.
And I guess most of the times, again, it's personal, but most of the times, when that validation, when that possibility of being heard from the partner is there, the need for validation from the society reduces, because you are
Course.
responsible to, those particular people in your life, and they are standing like rocks for you.
There is
So,
this common joke that me and my husband we share together. Like हमारे बीच में कोई भी बात होती है या कुछ होता है, मैं बोलती मैं वॉचमैन को जाके थोड़ी ना बोलूंगी कि मुझे क्या है प्रॉब्लम या मुझे ये बोलना है. मैं तो तुम्हें ही बोलूंगी ना, वो सुन भी लेगा तो भी मुझे कोई फर्क थोड़ी पड़ेगा. It is about you who is there with me and who is listening to me that will matter to me. So similarly, कोई और बंदा या कोई और person from society that does not matter as much as how much your spouse or your partner will matter to you. Similarly, आपका validation, आपका in fact presence will matter more to your partner than anyone or anything else. You may not even have to say anything, just being present, actively present is all that your partner may want. And if they are content by it, they'll feel more satisfied and वो अपने work life, which can be any work, वहां पे next day फिर से जाके start कर सकते हैं battle. There will be challenges every day. फिर अगले दिन कोई और नए challenges आएंगे काम पे. But they have that energy in them that okay, yes, I can do it. They will not carry a extra baggage from home.
yes.
Okay, so one last thing. Many of us, we just neglect certain things. कि हम छोटी छोटी चीजें हो जाती है ना कि अच्छा ठीक है छोड़ रहने दे, कौन माथा लगाएगा, कौन बोलेगा, let's just keep it aside. So in order to avoid fights, in order to avoid arguments, and if suppose there are relationship issues going on, we neglect sex and we just push it under the rug and कुछ काम का बहाना लेके सिर्फ काम करते हैं to just forget about everything else कि हमारे relationship में कोई issue चल रहा है. There is an elephant in the room, there is an issue, but दोनों जन आपस में इस बारे में बात नहीं कर रहे. वो elephant जाने वाला नहीं है, वो वहीं पे रहेगा. It is like a ticking time bomb. What will happen? एक दिन कोई ना कोई एक फट जाएगा like a volcano. And फिर उस टाइम पे जो डैमेज होगा वो कंट्रोल करना would be very difficult. So if you or your partner or anybody else is facing an issue, but they are just putting or sliding that under the rug, then know that it is wrong and it is high time to address it. Address the elephant. Talk about it. Don't stay silent. If you are facing a problem, if you have, unmet, unfulfilled desires, if you have any problem, talk about it. Talk to your partner. If you face any difficulty, कि जैसे बहुत लोग बोल रहे कि it is not easy to communicate with your partner, then seek professional help. It is okay. हमें बुखार होता है तो हम चले जाते हैं डॉक्टर के पास, वो तो 2-4 दिन में ठीक भी हो जाता है. लेकिन हमारे सेक्स लाइफ में कोई प्रॉब्लम है तो हम क्या करते हैं, चुप रहते हैं, महीनों और साल बीत जाते हैं. क्यों? हम अपने पार्टनर से ही नहीं बात करते हैं, बाकी और हेल्प और प्रोफेशनल हेल्प तो बहुत दूर की बात है. So it is high time we talk about it. Like we mentioned in the chat, बंद कमरे से बाहर बात निकालो. You don't have to publicly announce कि न्यूज़पेपर में छपवाते हैं कि हमारी ये प्रॉब्लम चल रही है. चाचा मामा फूफा सबको जाके बोलने की दरकार नहीं है, लेकिन आपस में तो एक दूसरे को बोल सकते हो. और खुद से अगर नहीं सॉल्व हो रहा है तो जैसे बुखार होता है डॉक्टर के पास जाते हो, तो वैसे ही अगर कुछ प्रॉब्लम है सो यू कैन सीक काउंसलिंग, यू कैन टॉक अबाउट इट.
I think
With
this
that,
awareness is needed a lot, that you can speak. There may be people who are talking and, trying to sort out things amongst themselves, but are not getting the right guidance, and वो कमरे से बाहर नहीं निकल पा रहे. People feel counseling is not so, कि लोग क्या सोचेंगे हमारे बारे में, किसी को पता चलेगा तो क्या होगा. Yeah, but this is the need of the hour, I feel, to save your relationships.
so what is the most important takeaway that y'all are going to take, if there is any, from this workshop today?
I think Jay sir has put it very clearly, the takeaway of the session.
Uh,
Yes, Mohit.
Hi.
Hi,
Yeah,
Mohit.
hi. So to take away, what I have noted is talk about your relation regularly, and the second is don't suppress your feeling because it will blast one day. So two takeaways from this session, and I think it will help me out in my life.
Thank you. Anyone else would like to share their views?
Communication is the
Communication is the
key.
key.
Okay.
Yeah. And phone पे ऐसे बात करते करते communicate नहीं.
Uh, Hi, can I ask you a question?
Yes, of course.
Nancy, what are the different ways wherein, as you said earlier, that you have to communicate about yourself, about your relations. So, what are different topics which you can discuss, or like there are very limited talks, or there might be many of them. But what are the things you should discuss ideally about a couple? What all things should be discussed?
Are you talking about things which a person should communicate before marriage or like during the dating period, or
No, after any time,
at
what
any
all things
point
should
of
be
time?
Yes, like as you said that with in last you asked the question in last 3 days, if you have communicated any of the things with your partner. So what are the things ideally a couple should discuss, or a person should discuss with their partner?
See, I can talk about myself, what I would want to discuss with my partner or would want to know about my partner. So, one thing which I learned from my mother was during my early childhood was that do whatever you want to do. तुम बाहर जाओ, जो करना है तुम्हें वो करो. तुम सही काम भी करोगे, तुम गलत काम भी करोगे. घर आके मुझे बस बता देना तुमने ये कर दिया. ठीक है, मुझे किसी थर्ड पर्सन से नहीं पता चलना चाहिए कि तुमने ये किया है. आई वॉन्ट टू हियर इट फ्रॉम योर माउथ, फर्स्ट हैंड एंड बिफोर हैंड. Why? Because then if you're doing something wrong and मुझे वो गलत लग रहा, I can explain it to you, and then the choice is yours, decision is yours, what you want to do ahead. दूसरा, मुझे थर्ड पर्सन से पता चलेगा तो मुझे बहुत बुरा लगेगा, and I will not have any justification or any answer to give to that person. But if you will come and talk to me and tell me about it, then I will know how to handle the situation. Similarly, that is the same thing that I expect from my relationship, where I want कि आपको जो करना है वो करो. I would expect my partner to come and say it to me. Similarly, if I am doing anything, I go and tell it to my partner, चाहे मैं वो कुछ भी कर रही हूँ. So that is my expectation. Similarly, in your relationship, what is your expectation and what is your partner's expectation, ये उसके ऊपर मैटर करता है कि आप क्या communicate करो.
Okay, let me get into this, sorry, and simplify Mohit's question, what he's trying to say. He's trying to ask, like, when two people are talking after a full day of work or something, it's mostly the husband will come and speak about work if he's in corporate, कि आज office में ऐसा हुआ, ये friend मिला, इसने ये किया, even if you're not discussing the stress part, okay? या मैं train में आया तो बहुत rush थी, भीड़ थी. This is the kind of conversation that he will have. And probably if a woman is at home, she would say, okay, today the maid didn't come, or, I had to do a overcooking, or I rested for a little longer time. This is a general conversation that they have. But if we both want to keep aside those conversations, what are those things that can come up? If they
Okay,
both have
so
a busy schedule, what is it that they can talk?
in our time, for example, one can talk about fantasy. We don't talk about our fantasy. We don't, even accept that, okay, this is our fantasy. Some are even taboo. That is completely not related to work, and we can maybe say express it ki non-judgmental way mein, what is your thought about this? We can talk about kinks. We can talk about different fetishes, and we can express if we have any fetish. We can ask our partner if they have any fetish.
And also, it's okay if they are not okay with that fetish, or if they are
Yes,
not
of
okay with
course.
that particular.
आज मुझे चॉकलेट में डेयरी मिल्क पसंद है, अगर मेरे पार्टनर को डेयरी मिल्क नहीं पसंद है, किटकैट पसंद है, तो इट इज ओके. जरूरी नहीं है कि हम दोनों को सेम चॉकलेट पसंद होगी. तो सिमिलरली हमारे डिजायर्स भी जो है या हमारे फेटिशेस भी जो है वो सेम हो, जरूरी नहीं है. बट धीरे
पता
धीरे
होना
कभी
जरूरी
कभी
है.
वी कैन, नहीं, बट धीरे धीरे वी कैन ट्राई एंड सी. एक पीस डेयरी मिल्क का थोड़ा सा टुकड़ा खा के देख सकते हैं कि ओके पसंद आ रहा है कि नहीं आ रहा है. सिमिलरली किटकैट का भी खा के देख सकते हैं, लेकिन अपने मर्जी से जबरदस्ती खिलाएंगे कि नहीं तुमको तो डेयरी मिल्क खाना ही पड़ेगा, तो क्या उसको पसंद आएगा और या क्या वो खाएगा? सेम चीज हमारे डिजायर के साथ होता है कि हमें तो ये चाहिए ही चाहिए. पार्टनर बोलता है कि मुझे ये नहीं चाहिए, आई एम डिसगस्टेड विद इट. नहीं, तुम्हें ये करना ही पड़ेगा, तो क्या वो और उसको पसंद आएगा कि वो और भागेगा उस चीज से? आई होप दैट आंसर्स.
Yes. Any more questions? Any more thoughts? Any more feedbacks? Any more takeaways? We are right here. Okay, so Kala ma'am says, I feel corporate houses can have counselors to start with youngsters are facing both internal and external issues causing stress and burnout. Definitely, it is the need of the hour. Okay, so with this, I think we are at a closure of this session. Again, with the beginning, as I always say, we are never at the closing. We are at a new beginning with new learnings. The group is always open for discussions. Nancy is there in the group. Anybody has a question, doesn't want to put up directly in the group and wants to put up on a private chat, can always connect to Nancy ma'am. She will be available to answer your queries. And
Thank you, Jay sir, for your valuable time to
thank you,
attend the
Nancy.
session so early in the morning. And
Thank
thank
you,
you rest of you all also to participate and make it more interesting and interacting over here.
Yes.
Thank you, Nancy. Thank you, Sakshi, for organizing this event.
Yeah,
Yes,
thank
I
you so
think
much.
it would be the first time for most of the participants here to, attend such a kind of session where they have been openly discussing about a very personal and sensitive topic in their own life. So thank you so much for, we need people like you who come up upfront and, help people open up and speak. So once again, thank you, Nancy, for being a part of PosiFest 2024.
Thank you. And thank you everyone for sharing their personal experiences, thoughts, and views. It is not easy to talk about it. Okay.
Okay,
Bye.
thank you. See you all tomorrow, same time.